I tried to write a good chemistry joke, but it was too formulaic. I tell you a joke about dirt, but it's beneath us. Why did the plane land on the football field? To score a touchdown.
Legally, can you be fired, not be allowed in a business, or put on a no-fly list for being a Trump supporter? Whoa! Know your rights, know your options. We'll be hanging out with LawyerWayne.com in just a moment. And is the state of Tennessee, right? Certain counties, are they thriving or diving after refusing lockdowns or mandates? Kacie Bryant of local Clarksville is back from her week-long trip. We'll get into it with her. So we got all this and so much more to go over here on the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely. Woo!
He doesn't wonder what it's like on the ground in Afghanistan. He's been there, serving our country and defending Lady Liberty.
Absolutely.
It's the Joe Padula Show, Clarksville's Conversation.
Hey, how's it going? How are you, y'all? Hey, my name's Joe Padula, host of the show. Former soldier with the 2nd Brigade Combat Team Strike, 101st Airborne Division Air Assault, and I'm ready. This war veteran is ready. I'm ready for some real talk. I am ready for some real facts. I am definitely ready for your real opinions. And I'm ready to party with a purpose. Absolutely. What's up, Bay?
Nothing much.
How's your day?
All right.
Yeah, not too bad, right?
Yeah.
Not too bad. We're gonna do some unifying here today, Bay. I see people on Facebook. They're just getting crazy. It's getting crazy. A lot of people, they love having arguments with a screen in front of them, but don't like to have them in person, or don't feel confident enough to have them in person. So we're going to help you articulate your words today. One of the best people to learn how to articulate words, Lawyer Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got that southernness to him that makes his words sound nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is a real lawyer. What do you got drawing? What's your drawing there?
That's the Mark of the Outsider from the video game Dishonored.
Oh. What's that? Is that what was on that guy's hand?
Yes.
The tattoo?
We figured it out.
We figured it out.
Yeah.
Man, your brother, intern Shane,
Yep.
you. It was nice. What's up, Kacie Bryant?
How do you have that memorized?
I
Like,
love
that's a
that
pretty
game.
complex drawing.
It's a great game.
You're back.
Hi.
How was your trip?
It was wonderful.
You went all around the state of Tennessee to locally owned businesses
Yes.
to see what is going on with locally owned businesses outside of Montgomery County and Clarksville, Tennessee, where we're currently broadcasting out of.
Yep.
Pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
A lot of differences.
A lot of differences.
A lot.
Each city is completely unique.
And we'll
Yeah.
dive right into it. Hey, do us a favor. Help us out with our shadow ban. And definitely share this. Start hitting that share button. Whether it's on the YouTube or the Facebook, we appreciate you watching us live video feed, audio-wise. iHeartRadio, all the other listening devices, and the listening platforms. If you want to see anything that we go over video-wise here, just go to those Facebook and YouTube channels while they're still up and running and not deleted. And, yeah, you'll see exactly what we're seeing. All right. Oh, yeah, and then we're going to bring the kids in here to do adult spelling bee with them. We're going to give them adult words, and they got to spell it.
All right.
No.
It was your idea.
It was not my idea. I said there are probably adults that cannot spell their spelling words.
Yeah.
All right.
That is not the same.
Yeah, I got it wrong then.
I'm immediately regretting this.
Do it.
No.
That we will. All right, so legally, can you be fired for not being allowed in a business, or if you put on a no-fly list, if you're a Trump supporter, all this stuff? Let's know our rights. Let's know our options. Here's why I'm bringing up this question.
In the state of Tennessee.
they don't need a reason to fire you.
Well, Bay, we'll get into it all here because we'll start off with Senator Chuck Schumer. He wants the Capitol rioters on a no-fly list ahead of the inauguration. So Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, he called for authorities to add the Capitol rioters to a national no-fly list to prevent more clashes January 20th at the inauguration. But get this, though. The day following the Capitol riots there, let me show you this. Take a look. This is the people who that didn't even go into the Capitol building, who were just attending the rally, the President Donald Trump's rally at the White House on January 6th. So there's people who were not allowed on the planes to go back home.
This is what happens.
How did they know they were at the rally?
It's a great question.
What happens?
That's a great question. Yeah, I'm sure they just asked, right?
This is what
Hey, you're wearing a Trump hat. Were you at the rally? Yeah, America! Come with me, sir.
happens, guys. This is crazy, yo.
For attending a rally, by the way, okay? Ma'am, you'll have to come with me.
How did they know? She has nothing Trump on her.
I know, and that's what's weird. And here's the thing, too.
Facial recognition.
Then the clapping.
So crazy.
Yeah, nice face shield, ma'am. By the way, those plastic face shields do nothing.
Well, they work just as well as the masks.
No, well, yes, I agree with you on that, Lawyer Wayne. Right, like I said, they barely do anything, especially when they come to your chin.
Thank God.
Oh, thank God. Thank God that person who supports Donald Trump is off of this plane. Thank God. Do you hear yourselves? Reverse it. Reverse the roles. Oh, that person went to a Kamala Harris rally. Get them off of this plane. Thank God.
This is the lady who was seen in the other video comforting the crying toddler guy who was kicked off a flight. They're all on the no-fly list for being radical white terrorists.
For being radical white terrorists.
So crazy. It's like
That's crazy, man. That is crazy. That's my definition of crazy. Listen to them. Get off of the plane.
Gentlemen, I'm sorry I got to take this a step further. The two passengers we need removed from the airplane are refusing to do that, and we can resolve this easily, but at this point...
Who makes that call? Who makes that decision to these airlines? Do you know what I mean? Who is the person that says, hey, and anyone that was at the Trump rally, we can't have him on the plane. I mean, if this is across all these different airlines.
How did they know that they was at the rally?
I don't know, Bay. I really don't know. I don't know if they asked a question.
Oh, you can tell by looking at them.
No, but like
They
Kacie
have those
said, that
beady eyes.
yeah, she's got that Trump strut going.
They look like manatees.
But yeah, like what Kacie said, like. Oh, the clapping.
She's even wearing a mask.
But
it's not like she's...
But the thing is, what was said before this footage is shown.
Right.
Yeah.
Were they talking about being there?
Have a good day.
Great day.
Have a good day. Yeah, bye. Bye. Bye.
That lady refused. She was like, listen, what are you talking about? Yeah. Look at this lady here. This white supremacist here who looks like she goes shopping at like H&M. She's got pink boots on, for crying out loud, or whatever those are.
Bye.
So, I mean, there's interesting conversation right there. Lawyer Wayne, what do you know about the legalities? Like, say one of these people come to you, okay, and they're like, hey, you know, this and this. I got kicked off of a plane because I was at a rally. I didn't go in the Capitol. I had to get another flight. I had to book a whole nother way to get home or whatever. What if somebody comes to you as a client or a potential client? What rights do they have or do you know of?
You know, when you buy airline tickets and things like that, you flew here recently, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Did
yeah.
you buy your tickets online?
Yeah.
Did it have a bunch of stuff you had to scroll past and click that you agreed to? Probably in there somewhere it said we can kick you off for any reason we want.
Right.
Because why wouldn't they? You're not going to read it anyways until it's too late. So you're going to sue them, and they're going to say, oh, you agreed right here. We kick you off anytime we want. So
Now, what about when it comes down to, like, civil rights? Okay, you say, because in that caption, the same thing with a baseball game. You know what I mean? You buy a ticket to a baseball game. You do this. We get the right to kick you off.
right.
But now it's something with an idea, an ideology. Okay, where they're like, okay, you're a Trump supporter.
Right.
You got to go. There's no civil liberties that protects that.
And civil liberties usually apply to one of two things.
Okay.
One, the government. The government has its own set of rules that it can't discriminate on. Say you work a government job. You have more protections, say freedom of speech, that kind of stuff.
14th Amendment.
Because when the
included.
government fires you, when the government fires you for your speech, that's different than a private business is firing for your speech. But other than that, there has to be a law saying what the business is doing is illegal. So,
Okay.
for example, the Civil Rights Act
says
you can't discriminate on the basis of race, religion, things like
all
that.
persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the states wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law.
So those are rules that apply, as you read there, to states, the government, and by states, we generally apply that to localities like cities and county governments, things like that, all the way up to the federal government. Businesses, kind of the opposite. The rule is you can do whatever you want unless there's a law saying you can't, right? And so, like I said, there's the Civil Rights Act and other local laws that sometimes prohibit discrimination on various factors, but none of those that I'm aware of, at least in Tennessee, would protect someone from being discriminated against based on their political beliefs or affiliations.
How about this one, where some corporations halt donations to Republicans who voted against certifying Biden's win?
Likewise, I think if you wanted to start a restaurant and say, Republicans only or Democrats only, I think you're allowed to do that. You couldn't do that for other protected categories. You couldn't say this is a restaurant for black people only or for white people only, because discrimination based on race is prohibited by law. There's no prohibition based on political affiliation.
Kacie, have you ever used GoFundMe before?
No,
No?
I have not.
Good for you then.
I have kind of a, I don't know, very
She don't
opinion
need it.
about
She's rich.
GoFundMe now.
Yeah. She funds herself.
What's your issue with GoFundMe?
There's something about asking for money for things. Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of them out there are just, I feel like it's used for the wrong purpose. So I think GoFundMe would be really great if your house burned down and I want to create a GoFundMe page to help raise money to get new stuff, right?
Right.
But me setting up my own GoFundMe to some of the stuff out there, I don't know. Anyways,
one of them is a GoFundMe has GoFundMe has prohibited fundraisers raising money for travel to the political protests on its platform following what happened at the Capitol on the 6th of January.
And GoFundMe can pick sides.
Right.
Presumably, they can say, "Well, we'll fund travel to say go to a Biden rally or something like that, but not for a Republican one."
Bang.
I can understand why they doing that though.
Why do you
Because
think?
you don't want to incite a argument on the plane. You know what I'm saying? Just like they was kicking people off, you say certain things on the plane. You know what I'm saying? So that just say you have a couple Trump supporters on the plane and some other people on the plane, and they get to talking, and then there's a fight break out in the middle of midair. You know what I'm
So
saying?
why wouldn't you ban Biden supporters then? Like Kacie said earlier, you said earlier, how do you know who they are? How do you know they were at the rally?
It's whoever, talking. Other than that, it had to be a photo recognition. How they catching all these people.
Like, take that one lady. I mean, are they going by, hey, you look like a Trump supporter? Now we're talking about this is some type of what do we use it when we in the service? We would judge situations on how people were looked.
Called profile.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, we definitely were profiling.
That's what they call it.
Now, okay, so you profile someone. Well, you're a white middle-aged man with a beer gut.
But the thing is, the police
was
there.
It's a White Claw gut.
It's a White Claw gut.
But the police was there all the time, pulling people off the plane. So something's up.
That's what's so dangerous about these Republicans. They can hide in plain sight. They're hard to profile.
Even people who
They come
aren't
in all shapes and sizes.
not even at the rally, who are actually working that day.
Yeah.
Doing political stuff like this.
Caught up in the sweep.
Like this congresswoman. She's removed from the Harvard Advisory Committee over her objection to the election.
Oh, you can't do that.
Man.
Kicked out of Harvard.
Representative Elise Stefanik. She's out of New York. She's been removed from a senior advisory committee to Harvard University's Institute of Politics because of her decision to challenge the presidential election results last week. And here's the thing, too. Based on the challenge, which is constitutional, that is protected under the Constitution. A member of Congress can object to the electoral vote count in the Constitution. Same House of Representative member and a member of Congress, a member of Senate, has the right to, and it's been done for the past each election for the last how many years now? Now, it's been all Democrats who objected to election recently. What the situation is, you break the law.
You breaking the law. Yep.
That's just what I'm looking at. Now, more relationships with the financial. Once again, of news media reporting and footage captured from the Capitol that day.
Right.
So you're saying that based on the timeline from what we know, that even prior to when you and I walked by around 1 o'clock, maybe 1:10, but there were people who had already been there, probably couldn't have attended the president's speech, and that were pre-planning to commit this activity regardless of what the president said.
Okay, so without a teleportation device, it is impossible for somebody to have been at the president's speech and then at the Capitol. Here's the timeline, and people can go away and look this up for themselves. The president got up to speak at noon on the dot and did not finish speaking until 1:11 p.m. Eastern Time. He exited the stage at 1:13 p.m. Eastern Time. So minutes is how long it takes to go, and remember, the streets are closed. You can't take a car, so you have to walk from the White House to the Capitol, which puts the first people who were able to listen to the president's speech at the Capitol at about 1:56 p.m.
Come on,
That's
Joe.
a full hour and 16 minutes after Steve Sun says the first people were at the perimeter at the Capitol building.
Here. First
Right, so the
off,
timeline
Hold on,
doesn't
let the man
work.
speak.
The people who were listening to the president, and the fact that, by the way, and we should also mention, how was cell phone service that day?
Impossible. Impossible. Could barely get any, could certainly not live stream the president's speech while you were standing
Right, so
outside and
could
get
there be-
incited that
Right,
way.
because I've seen people say, oh, well, maybe they were listening to the president's speech.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do while you're smashing down windows and causing havoc outside the U.S. Capitol, is you have a speech on your phone in front of you while you're doing it.
It really wasn't possible.
It doesn't make sense. It's a total nonsense. And so what we have to do is treat these two events as completely separate events. You had troublemakers, and I couldn't care less who they politically support. You condemn them nonetheless. They were there to cause trouble, and they did not attend President Trump's speech. Here's why it's important. The Democrats are now trying to impeach this president, again, using the words from his speech and saying that his speech incited people to violence. I will repeat this again. You could not have listened to the president's speech and made it over to the Capitol in time for that timeline to work.
Yeah, Lawyer Wayne,
Where do we
you
start?
object.
First off,
Yeah, what do you
for
got,
those
Lawyer
that are
Wayne?
listening and can't see,
Uh-huh.
that man was wearing what appeared to be a polo shirt under a suit jacket over the top of a dress shirt and tie, and his collar was popped. The collar of a polo shirt underneath a suit jacket popped.
I think
it was amazing.
I think you made that statement because you are racist against people of Indian
Second,
descent.
he had a foreign accent, and he is talking about American politics, which I think is foreign interference with our elections, which is illegal.
Lawyer Wayne, once again, is doing his part in making sure we don't get kicked off of YouTube and Facebook.
And the first people there were the Russian agents because this was pre-planned by the Russians so that they could get in and bug all the offices in Congress under the cover of a mostly peaceful protest.
And with that all being said, so businesses blocking, not allowing you to do business with them. I have the one story of the guy being fired, which I think he should have been fired. I got no problem with you being fired from your job if you got caught inside that Capitol and your wife rats you out. Where is that one? Arrested Air Force vet pictured in Senate Hall, right? Mm-hmm. Turned in by his ex-wife. I'm sorry.
I was about to say.
Ex-wife?
His wife?
Yeah.
Missing a word there, sir.
But
guess who's got custody now?
Right.
But then again, the no-fly list where they want senators and people who support Donald Trump to be put on no-fly list.
I don't see
without any conviction of inciting a riot.
Yeah.
So legally, can this now be turned against them for defamation of character? Like, say the bank says, we won't do business with you because you incited a riot. Can then President Trump or people that get denied business say, well, there's been no conviction, and that is pure your opinion? And then can they say, well, you're saying I did something illegal? If someone says I did something illegal publicly and doesn't allow me to do something, I'm calling you, Lawyer Wayne.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you don't bother, but okay.
Why not? Fill me in.
Oh, defamation suits are for rich people only.
Well, I got Kacie Bryant, who doesn't need GoFundMe.
Yeah, people that don't need GoFundMe, they can afford defamation suits.
But do you see what I'm saying here?
You move on with your life. People say nasty things.
And the whole time here, when they're calling for unity and everything, stop BSing us if this is your approach. Plus, on top of it, I got a question.
Unity doesn't mean that people that think one way and people that think another way are going to get along together. Unity means everyone needs to think the right way.
Yeah, sounds familiar, right? Das ist gut, huh?
You need to think the right way. There's no room
the papers and auto,
for wrong things.
Well, I'll tell you what. Somebody actually did come out and supported the rioters. So let me pull up that clip.
Not gonna stop. They're not going to stop, and they're not. This is a movement. I'm telling you, they're not going to stop. And everyone beware. Because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels. That they're not going to let up, and they should not, and we should not.
Oh wait, that was Kamala Harris on June 18th,
right?
Talking about the BLM riots and Antifa riots.
You mean the mostly peaceful protests?
Right.
Peacefully and patriotically making their voices heard.
Peacefully? Interesting.
The Capitol protest resulted in 1 person shot dead, 14 officers injured, and damage to 1 federal building. BLM and Antifa riots over 2020 resulted in over 23 people, including children, shot dead, 700 officers injured, and over 150 federal buildings damaged.
So, should she be put on a no-fly list? Should banks stop doing business with her?
I don't think she should be allowed to go anywhere without an armed guard for the rest of her life.
Well, she don't have to worry about that. She don't have to worry about that. That's for sure. But yeah, I just find it all interesting that there are these things going on, and people are just taking it.
You see, one side does the wrong thing for the right reasons. The other side does the wrong thing for the wrong reasons, and got to figure out which side you want to be on.
Well, I know the side I'm on.
You can't just say stop doing wrong things.
I'm on the side of not only just freedom of speech, Not only just civil liberties for all, right, but common sense, to be honest with you. You know, blatant bias is going to catch up. It really is. Like, take a look at this one. Facebook to remove all content that mentions stop the Steelers.
The Steelers.
Yeah, stop the Steelers. We're talking about football.
Yeah.
Okay, Facebook?
A lot of football-related
Very
content.
good, babe.
Take it down soon.
Yeah, got to stop those Steelers. Let's go Giants, right. Isn't that something? Anything about stop the Steelers, Pittsburgh. Yeah, so hey, there it is. There is definitely a bias against them. There is a hypocrisy, that's for sure. But all right. Bang. What do you make of it all, man?
Oh, this year gonna be something. Gonna be something.
This ex-wife.
Oh yeah.
So the retired Air Force colonel, it's high rank, man, was photographed inside the Senate chamber.
Yes, colonel is higher than a corporal. I learned that on this show.
Yes.
Not the same thing.
No, much difference. So he was wearing military gear and holding zip ties during the protest at the U.S. Capitol. The zip tie guy, yeah.
Right. The one from Tennessee?
Okay.
Or a different guy?
I believe this is a different guy.
Okay.
So he was turned in by his ex-wife, according to the affidavit. Yeah. So his ex-wife of 18 years.
Oh, so she's getting a piece of his retirement.
Contacted the FBI to support a criminal complaint that charges him with one of those one count of knowingly entering it or remaining in any restricted building or grounds without lawful authority.
She wants something that would warm, man.
And one count of violent entry and disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds. So, yeah, it says in the affidavit, quote, I just know that when I saw this was happening, I was afraid he would be there at the Capitol building and told him about his military background. Again, hey, listen, thank you for your service, but shouldn't have been inside there. Shouldn't have been inside. And according to that timeline now, I question who was. If you went to the rally, were you really at the rally? Or did you go there with certain intentions? Crazy.
If he's in for more than 60 days, his military retired pay stops. And if she's getting a chunk of it, I think it stops too. She better bail him out.
What if he goes to if he goes to jail
for a certain amount of time?
So because if they start
they'll
charging,
stop paying your retired pay if you go to jail for a certain amount of time.
Because this is going for federal.
Yeah.
This is
that other guy from Tennessee they're holding without bail. Last I heard.
That's 10 years.
So if this retired colonel gets thrown in prison for more than 6 months.
60 days, I think.
60 days?
Yeah, 61.
That's three.
Is my
3 months.
my understanding. Don't quote me on that, people. That's just my off the
ex-wife. You should have called him before you did this.
I've never had a client go to jail for long enough to get cut off their military retired pay, so I don't know that on a practical level.
And that's why you want LawyerWayne.com. Know your rights, know your options. All right, so let's move forward. Let us know what you think. Hey, do us a favor. Make sure to share this on your timeline, and we appreciate your comments as well. No doubt about it. We'll get to it. What's up, Ryan Quinn? How you doing? Ryan Quinn, dude, Facebook even tried to cancel Ron Paul. Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, he got locked out when he posted something they didn't like.
Ron Paul.
As it should be. He needs to be careful.
Ed Reynolds on YouTube. The Capitol thing sounds more peaceful to me than any peaceful protest this summer. Yeah,
stop saying peaceful. We know what that means.
The Capitol was a peaceful protest.
Yeah, very peaceful.
Christopher Early, he says, I think that they only stop your pay while you're in. After release of
I think after release you'd have to reapply for
at least
it.
You will get it again.
It's that way with other government benefits.
So,
no.
Yeah.
I've never had that happen to military retired pay in particular.
Russell checking in on Facebook. Hello, Lois Mindrup. He's saying hello to the other people. Okay, very good, very good. Appreciate your guys' comments, no doubt about it. All right, coming up next, well, Kacie Bryant of local Clarksville. She took a trip around the entire state of Tennessee. And you can apply this to your state, too. You know how your area is dealing with COVID, with lockdowns and mandates. How's the rest of your state handling lockdowns and mandates? Are some thriving or some diving? Well, in the volunteer state, Kacie Bryant of local Clarksville, she's going to fill us in next on the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely.
Salutations. This is Kacie Bryant with Local Clarksville. Don't forget to download our app to find local places to eat, shop, and play. You're listening to The Joe Padula Show. Absolutely.
Water dogs scuba and safety. There's a whole world to discover underwater, and at Water Dog Scuba and Safety, they're here to help you explore it. Veteran and locally owned, and whether you're already an expert diver or beginner seeking adventure, Water Dogs offers private and scheduled dive trainings for all ages. Get those kids, but no dogs. Go check out their Facebook page. Look at their underwater videos. 681 North Spring Street, downtown Clarksville. Go say hello to Rich and Cecil and the team at Water Dog Scuba and Safety.
Aloha, Clarksville! Come surf the flavor wave of Chemo's authentic Hawaiian dishes and signature handcrafted cocktails. While here, you'll experience Chef Gracie's fine dining with the relaxed feel of Aloha right here in Middle Tennessee. Catch the wave.
Chemo's Hawaiian Bar and Grill is located at 125 Franklin Street, downtown Clarksville. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9. Happy hour, 2 to 5. Weekends, 11 to 11. And now Sunday, 10 to 3, is the Chemo's, Mimosas, and More Brunch. Find out more at chemosHawaiian.com and order takeout or delivery while there. Absolutely.
The following is a paid advertisement for legal services.
Hello, Clarksville. Lawyer Wayne here. Yes, I am a real lawyer, and yes, I have 9 kids. Do you know what the number one complaint about lawyers is? It's not how much they cost or even how good a job they do. It's that they don't return phone calls. Well, if you go to lawyerwayne.com, I've got my cell phone number on there. You put it in your phone, and if you need a lawyer, text me. You can come down to my office at 120 South 2nd Street. We can talk about your case. I offer free consultations. Know your rights, know your options. LawyerWayne.com. This is Lawyer Wayne. Check me out at LawyerWayne.com and check me out on TikTok at Lawyer Wayne. You're listening to The Joe Padula Show. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted.
You didn't want Missy?
I didn't want to get your freak on for a local segment. All right, we'll do with that. That'll work then. Fine.
That's the.
How's your guys' week so far? All right, hope all is well. And hey, if you guys are arguing with people on social media, it's a tough battle to win an argument on social media. It really is.
Not if you're on the right side, because then the other side gets banned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not the right or wrong side. I think people forget that when you send a message, it makes total sense in your mind. Like you're thinking that other person is going to hear it the exact way that you're typing it.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Like you say, forget about it.
Right.
And, why should I I can't forget about this.
How dare he?
What?
Right.
I will never forget. That's our motto. Never forget.
If you're in an engagement with somebody on social media, especially Facebook, especially Twitter, oh my God, stop calling me a Nazi. I'm not a Nazi. Sorry, but yeah, you're gonna write that message, and you can have hey, it's all good. I hear you. Blah 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 is my facts, and that person is gonna be read it as, how dare you? These are my facts. Do you know what I mean? So. How do you best that though? How do you have an argument or a conversation while on social media?
I guess video.
You don't.
Video.
Yeah.
Video's good.
That'd be your best bet.
Well, that's what they gotta create then. In these messages, like I made a post, okay, about one of the topics we talked about yesterday, and then they go boom, boom, boom. I mean, they're past 200 comments of just going back and forth. Ow. So I hope social media.
Don't hurt yourself.
I'll try not my best.
Okay.
I hope social media creates where you can video message in a comment.
Well, like TikTok, where you can leave a stitch and reply in the form of a video to their video.
But
yeah.
Can it be a live video?
Live?
You know what I mean?
Facebook can do that. You've never messed around with our show, but we could allow someone to come in live onto our show if we wanted to.
Yeah?
And talk.
I mean like a post. I make a post.
Right.
Here's the topic, not to stir the pot.
Have it be all video responses?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that could be entertaining.
Be a little exhausting to watch.
Yeah.
When it's stitched through. But hey, sure.
Some people, when they respond in video, they go on forever and ever.
You can't,
and ever.
actually. In most Facebook comments and stuff, you can't post like a video or your own photo sometimes. Like in our comment section in our show right now, I don't think you can post pictures, for example, or GIFs.
Yeah, what is that about?
Maybe I would like an option to enable that. Of course, you don't want people necessarily spamming all kinds of pictures into our show.
I don't mind.
Without our prior approval. Send those in private messages to
No,
Joe Padula,
don't send
please.
them. Don't send me your privates.
If you have a funny picture, an interesting picture, just any kind of picture, Joe loves pictures.
Shelly is an admin.
Shelly's an admin.
Okay, Kacie, Bryant has admin rights.
They all love pictures. Funny
Intern
pictures.
Shane, stop sending me those
Intern
pictures.
Shane.
Guys and girls.
He likes them. Intern Shane likes them.
Just send all your pictures, private message, please.
Girls and guys, don't send me those
we'll
pictures
have a whole segment
anymore.
where Intern Shane reviews your photos that you send to him.
I couldn't believe it. Shelly was like, "You got a message."
Nice. So I mean, when it comes to social media, use baseball rules, right? You explain it to them once.
Okay.
You explain it to them twice. Third time, report them, have them banned by Facebook.
Okay, so that's what we do then. All right, so when you post something controversial that you know is going to stir the pot, you make the post, but then you have rules underneath the post. Right? You get only 5 responses.
You should have a comment limit.
Right. You get 5 comments in total in the entire thread.
If what you have to say takes more than 3 comments to explain your position, you need to come on the show and explain it live.
Yes.
I think that's the rule.
And that's the thing, too. And that's another problem. Always, the invite is always there. Come on the show. Let's talk about it. Let's figure this out. It's got to be about 99.4% say.
Nah.
No, usually it's you have the upper hand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You'll turn my mic off, which never happens.
No.
Unless
someone calls you Joey.
There he goes. Okay. Okay.
But yeah, we can have somebody call in. We ought to do more of that.
Twitter's the worst with it. Twitter's the worst with the hate. It's just hate. There's so much hate.
I deleted my Twitter like a year ago just because it was just awful. There was nothing fun. It was just people screaming into the void.
Do you want me to read you my Twitter?
I haven't been on your Twitter
kids
forever.
In here.
He can edit his.
Yeah, I'll edit.
There are 2 kids in here.
Okay.
You can hear that, and you probably don't want to.
No, all right. Hold on.
So many rude people on Twitter.
I don't even know what that
They
is.
on Twitter.
Like the one even brought up that's my boss, Sergeant Hunter, my friend that I lost over there, said that he would be so disappointed with me. Like, because I have opinions and I'm not afraid to.
How can they say that? They don't even know who Hunter was.
No, this
Maybe
one
they do.
does, but a little bit they know who Hunter was. Right, I know.
I think what they're saying is, I'm
my
disappointed
God.
in you.
We're down over 700 followers on Twitter now.
That's because they're deleting accounts.
With the purge.
And people are leaving.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, let me see. Let's see if they left. Oh, look, they... man, this one's just stalking me. No fly lists are for capital terrorists, so don't be dramatic.
Ah, yes. Capital terrorists.
Yeah, well, people got kicked off of a plane
terrorists
without
like,
being convicted. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying here.
The well-known terrorist Ted Cruz has been added to the no-fly list today.
Who is not convicted of doing anything wrong, yet still you're on a list where no fly for you. Nazis went into American cities after a white terrorist cop murdered a black man in broad daylight. This is the stuff I get. We fought back. You made it harder for us to fight Nazis because you listened to a man who used you as a GD prop to take this country by force.
Right.
How did this man take it by force?
By losing an election.
Now, let me tell you something. Here's how much of a non-fascist he is. He got kicked off of Twitter. You tell me any fascist that would allow an American company to kick them off of a platform.
Nah, hang on a second. He also put out the video saying that everybody ought to stop doing that kind of stuff.
He did.
And committing to a peaceful transfer of power, which you know is code for meaning he's not going to do it. He's just fanning the flames by putting stuff like that out there.
Fanning the flames.
His true supporters know.
I'm going to start calling him MSNBC Wayne.
That he means the opposite of what he says. When he says peaceful transfer of power.
Clarksville, local Clarksville. What's up, Kacie?
Hi.
Finally on.
Yeah, we got the kids on there too. These are your kids,
I'm gonna
huh?
have to do a lot of explaining after this show.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
All right. Bet you'll have to.
You guys don't mind the politics talk, do you? While hanging out in the studio?
No, it's fine. We hear mom and dad say, yeah.
Yeah.
We do that all the time, so I think we're good. And there's been a lot of unusual stuff happening in our neighborhood.
It's amazing. Yeah, what's some of the unusual stuff?
It's not amazing. Like, there's crashes, fires.
Yeah.
There's been a house on fire, 2 car crashes.
What's going on in your neck of the woods?
And there has
been crazy.
And there's been a kid that cracked his skull open from riding a skateboard.
Where do you live? Thunderdome? What's going on over there?
And Scratch died, and our sink busted. And
Man, it's been a rough couple of weeks.
So it's not just on the political level.
And there's 2 people. There's 2 kids that ran away or got stolen.
It really has not been that bad. It's been.
What are you talking about? Are they lying?
No, but we live in a pretty decent area, and we have a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah, we do live in a pretty decent neighborhood.
Casey's like, shut up, you're going to ruin my property value. You went on a trip. You left Clarksville.
Yes.
Clarksville, Montgomery County.
And left me and my dad.
220,000 people in this area. And our mandates aren't too overbearing. You know, there's been no citations of face masks or anything like that. There's been no arrest for having too many people in your house or anything. I think we have a very good balance of here's what you got to do. Just be safe. Right. You be you. That's not the case, though. How many different places you went to last week?
So we wanted to go to every major city in Tennessee, but it took us a lot longer than I thought.
It's a big state.
And we met so many interesting people, and just there were a couple places where we ended up staying 2 days instead of one.
Cookville and
What's it like in Cookville?
She wants the microphone.
And then Cookville has no mandates. The teachers are wearing masks, but the kids aren't.
Oh, they're in school, huh?
They're in school.
Wait,
Cookville
so Cookville.
It was amazing. That was like the energy.
best.
Hey, the energy from the different places that we went. It was like you could tell, even just walking down the street, what type of mandates and lockdown and rules they had, because it definitely had an effect on the people and their attitude and their personality, and you could tell there was a lot of depression. It was I can't even explain the difference from like Knoxville was.
Let's see.
They have so many rules.
Oh, I bet. But Putnam County is Cooksville.
Yeah, you say major cities in Tennessee, and I'm starting to try to make a list in my head.
So we started in Jackson. We went Jackson and then Memphis, and then along the southern part, we didn't make it all the way to Chattanooga, but we came up and went to Franklin. Franklin also was very locked down. And then we came and picked Maria up, and then we went over to Johnson City and Elizabethton, which was my second favorite place, and then back.
And then me and my dad, we went golfing once. And
nice. Oh, while the ladies were out?
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice, yeah. And there was a pond, and it was a few feet ahead of me. And
you were immediately regretting this decision.
now, Kacie, okay, so Cookville open, and everyone's happy. I'm just looking at the numbers, okay? Cookville, the entire county of Putnam County, currently according to the Tennessee.gov, only has currently 893 active cases of COVID.
It's a pretty big town.
And they are fully open, pretty much.
Yeah, I feel like they have the right. So I don't, as far as I know, the mayor doesn't have a whole lot. There's no mandates on restaurants. There's no mask mandates. But people are leaving it up to themselves and what's best for, they feel like what's best for their family. So some people are still wearing masks. I know.
Yeah.
Some people are still wearing masks. Some places decided not to do larger events. And so I feel like they're still being responsible in their decision making. And it was like, I can't even explain the attitude is so, everybody's like normal.
And
I felt
where
like
was
we
it
went
terrible?
into old America.
And where was
Knoxville was, and Franklin.
Knoxville's been terrible forever.
That's
Knoxville's
where I play
always a
baseball.
depressing place. Every time I've been to Knoxville, it's like
I play baseball.
it's like the Detroit of Tennessee. I don't know what's going on out there.
They have such a neat little downtown, though. There's a really cool downtown area of Knoxville, and I think it was
potential.
like Friday or Saturday that we were in Knoxville, so it was a weekend, and it was like a ghost town. There was hardly anybody walking around. We couldn't even really get an interview in Knoxville because they were just so
so they got the lockdowns
shut
and
off
everything, and they got
negative.
Yeah.
We got one in Knoxville.
They got their active cases in Knoxville, Knox County, 4,439. Now let me look at the population. 470,000. We do the math. I got to pull out the calculator because I can't do it in my head.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you another thing about Knoxville.
Yeah, tell me about Knoxville.
Normally, in the middle of the downtown circle area where all the local businesses are, they have a skating rink for wintertime, an ice skating rink, and they do fun things in the middle. They, for whatever reason, they decided it would be safer to take it out of the downtown outside and put it inside, away from all the local businesses due to COVID. And so to me, it's like, if you're really trying to make it safe, this does not even make sense. How is it making it safe moving it from outside to inside?
You know, and I bet the people over there, that frustrates them too.
They were so frustrated. The business owners.
Yeah, what were they saying to you?
So it's not really anything else.
They were
as usual.
The business owners in Knoxville, we really couldn't get a lot. I feel like also they're scared to talk. When we were going to the cities that were more open up, the businesses were like free to say whatever they wanted. They talked and said whatever, answered whatever questions, but it seemed like the places that had a lot more restrictions and mandates, the business owners didn't want to be honest about how they're feeling because they're scared they're going to get in trouble.
And here's the thing, I just did the math. So Knox County currently is 1, 2, 94.3% COVID free. Do you know what I mean?
What was it?
Hold on, 1, 2. I've got to carry this here.
Joe's trying to do math.
Well, I'm trying to compare it. Yeah, keep going, Lawyer Wayne.
Knox County. They have it rough out there, but they've always been weird. I feel
that's your neck of the woods, right?
In Clarksville, my suspicion is that Clarksville is probably the largest city in Tennessee that has the least restrictions compared to others. Because as you said, we have not had, the kind of crackdowns and arrests and citations and things that other places have seen. I have the feeling that for a while now that Clarksville's got it pretty good as far as our local government. Like they really feel like they're there to support the community rather than rule over it. They don't see the people and the businesses and such as their enemies that they got to fight with, but and put down. But that's just the impression I get.
A common thing that came up too with the businesses is that it's a no-win. And I've been feeling this for a long time. And this trip just kind of was whatever that word is. Said yes, it's right, because some of the businesses the people that come in that don't wear masks, right? A lot of them, like in Knoxville specifically, they mention this a lot. People aren't going out because they're not going to wear masks. So they just don't support businesses. They don't go anywhere. But the people, so they lose business by that. And the ones that made it more open for both of them, whether masks or no masks, it's a lose-lose because the people that think that masks are saving everybody's life are mad if people come in without masks. They get mad at the business owners. But then people that don't wear masks. You know what I mean? Like
they don't want to have to get. They'd rather order something online or something if they have to go to the store and wear a mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
They make people mad no matter what. Requiring masks makes people mad, and not requiring masks makes
Right.
people mad. So.
Yeah.
What's some of the other things the owners were saying that really pisses them off? Takes them off. Sorry.
They, I mean, really, honestly, it was pretty positive. It was a lot of the places that we went, and I think a lot of it was because the businesses that we were interviewing were businesses that were still there. Because, we would just pop in. We'd go to a city and pop in and talk to all the business owners. And so I think that they were the ones that have been making it through, right? And so they're still in business. And they really seemed very optimistic. That one of the questions that we asked was, how are you feeling going into 2021? And for the most part, everybody was optimistic. They feel the vaccines was a huge thing that was mentioned several times. Now that the vaccines are out, people are going to start coming out again.
That put people are going.
Oh yeah, very
okay,
much
fine.
so. Yeah,
right,
that
okay.
was mentioned probably more than anything else.
Did they say thank Trump after that or no?
No, they did not.
Operation Warp Speed? No, they didn't.
No. But for the most part, I think that they're optimistic, and one thing that was said a lot too is like we're entrepreneurs and we're business owners and we figure it out, and you need to pivot. So that was a good lesson, I think, is like if you are a business owner out there, there are going to be challenges, whether it be lockdowns or COVID or whatever, and so I think figuring out a way to adjust versus feeling like a victim, which I think is a great lesson in life anyways.
Well, I'm glad
is
that
a way to succeed.
I'm glad that you brought you brought some attention to what the hell's going on outside of our borders.
Yeah,
there's
very different.
There's a lot of people that don't understand that man. Yeah, I hear you. There are mandates, which aren't laws, by the way. Well, not passed legislation laws, but zero citations have been made for capacity levels, for masks, whatever, here in Montgomery County.
Oh, you're saying zero convictions?
Convictions, right.
Yes, that's correct.
Right, convictions, right.
Some may have been issued, but they might have been dismissed.
Yes, that's why he's here, Lawyer Wayne. So, just know that outside of the borders, yeah, some of it's better, and some of it's not as good. Mm-hmm. Right. Local Clarksville, download the app, Eat, Chop, Play. Local Clarksville, nice job, Kacie.
Thanks.
Mackenzie, you went on this trip.
Yes, I did.
And it was all girls.
Yes, I did. I wanted to go when they came back for Maria.
Yeah.
But my dad said that there'd be all girls.
Yeah,
so
you don't want to go if it's all girls.
No.
And he said, and then Colt said that.
Mackenzie, who farted the most on the trip? Come on, you can tell.
Probably my mom.
I did.
Yeah?
I did.
Who was second most?
By far.
No, I think
Eat a lot of fast food on the road.
Yeah? Any clogging of the toilet or whatever?
I think Maria.
Yes.
Who clogged the toilet?
Probably. It was just toilet paper.
Yeah, but who did it?
Mama.
I don't know.
Kacie?
But she clogged
it was awful.
Colt does not know who clogged the toilet.
We spent our whole last day trying to get the toilet unclogged.
Who was it?
It was bad.
Was it Maria?
I really think it was just toilet. It was just a ton of toilet.
girls
Girls going to the bathroom. Like
but
we used
who
a lot of
put too much toilet paper in there?
You can't tell.
Yeah,
There's no
you
telling
can
because
tell.
we all went.
Wes,
I bet
Kacie clogged the toilet on her trip.
And
we just found out.
She clogged the toilet
Ugh,
in here.
So gross. Yeah, she did. See now.
Stop, Colt. Stop talking.
She always clogged the toilet.
I bet the boys had more fun. Did y'all watch any good movies while the girls were away?
Yeah.
What'd you
On
watch?
Christmas, have you ever watched Soul?
Soul, yeah.
Yeah, it's a new movie that
Soul.
came out
Nice.
on Christmas.
Strike,
we
brother.
watched it, and then when they left, I watched it at my nana's.
So you get to see it twice.
Robert wants to know, why do girls use a lot of toilet paper?
Robert Russell, that's a great question.
We'll have to explain that off the air sometime.
No.
Off this. There's
All right,
kids.
I have a question. Why do girls use more toilet paper than guys?
Because guys don't use toilet paper to pee.
How much toilet paper are you using when you pee?
Like
it depends.
2 gallons.
I don't know. It just depends.
Are you peeing and pooping at the same time?
No.
I wish I could do that. I did that once. I got called a girl. Right. I'm glad you had a good, safe trip, though.
Yeah.
That's good.
It was fun.
Now I'm at.
We're going to have, we did, I think, a total of 29 interviews with the business owners recorded face to face. We saw about 60 people, and we're going to be coming out with those interviews slowly.
Good.
Yeah.
And now
share their stories.
And now I'm going to be talking about me and my dad's trip.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, home trip. So Well,
You started it. This was your idea, Joe.
it's basically a home trip.
I'm gonna do
A
adult spelling bee.
staycation,
A
we call it.
staycation. That's
Yeah.
right. Staycation.
That's where you stay at home as a vacation.
Yeah. It's just the bros. Just the dudes. No girls allowed.
Call that
I wish we could do that at my house.
The Al Bundy.
Get rid of all the girls.
Almost the
and
whole time he
just
had
me
to
and the
clean the
bros.
house.
Yeah.
And that was the worst part about it
What kind of man is he?
for that girl.
For that girl. That's funny. Localclarksville.com.
And then I had to pick up my sister's clothes when she took a shower or when they left.
Yeah.
And I had to pick.
She
clean
left
up
her clothes
room
on the
and do all
floor
that.
and went on a trip.
Yeah.
I had to pick up her.
What a slob, huh?
and her room was really messy, and I had to
Yeah.
clean that up. And I had to clean.
You
mine.
never had to clean up my room.
Yes, I did.
Is her room a mess? Yeah.
My room is never a mess. We just.
So you're losing followers quickly.
Yeah, I know. I know.
She always
They're
shoves
dropping.
everything under her bed.
Oh.
No, I don't. All I have is the Nerf guns that Colt gave me.
What's one thing that Mackenzie broke that she lied about?
I accidentally broke her lamp.
You broke her lamp?
Yes.
On purpose?
On accident. No,
Oh,
on
okay.
accident.
Did you fess up to it or did you lie?
Lie.
You lied about it?
No.
Okay, good
You
answer.
went, no,
Bae, Quinn says she likes your shirt.
Well, thank you.
It's a nice shirt. I like the yellow on you, Kacie. You should do the yellow more often.
Oh, I didn't read the
subject.
rest of the comment. It's not good.
Oh.
I didn't. I only read the first part.
Probably.
Kacie, what'd you learn on the show today?
Probably because you're stinky.
I learned. Why do you always ask me first?
Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Make a video and
Just
post it.
Don't get
I
mad.
learned that. Yeah, doing video comments all over Facebook would not be a good idea.
No, I think it would stop people from just blah 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 and be like, well, see, I'm sane, and here's why. Right.
My dad had a.
Crazy. Lawyer Wayne, what'd you learn on the show today?
I learned that no-fly lists are going to prevent terrorists from traveling around the country, such as Tom Cruise, Ted Cruz, and Tom Cruise. I bet Tom Cruise is behind it.
But again, not convicted.
Ted Cruz, Tom Cruise, same guy.
Not put through it.
We can't wait for convictions. You can't get a case to trial right now because of coronavirus. The courts are shut down.
And that's why
it's taking forever.
And that's why he is.
It's gonna be
that's why
years
he's here.
before they get anything done.
Yeah, he's crazy, by the way, and he's just messing with you.
I'm like Trump. Everything I say is the opposite of what I mean.
Bae, what'd you learn on the show today?
Two gorillas got COVID.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
On the show?
You didn't read it?
Wait, say that again?
When two gorillas caught COVID.
Two gorillas caught COVID?
When dude was talking to the other dude about they couldn't be there at the Capitol building during this time, I always read the bottom. And it says two gorillas.
In the
Oh.
is it called
Oh,
the Chiron?
yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
Apparently, in one of the videos we were watching, if you had read the scrolling text down at the bottom, two gorillas caught COVID.
Yeah.
Two gorillas.
COVID-19.
COVID. No.
It's leaped to the animals now.
Ah, that what it said.
Top stories: two gorillas at San Diego Zoo test positive for COVID-19.
See?
Gorillas are close to our DNA.
Oh boy.
Just think about it. They had AIDS.
Do you know?
Yeah.
We share about 30% of our DNA with bananas.
Oh, bananas?
Yep.
Okay. Kacie. All right. Hey, thanks for allowing us, enabling us to have a conversation. And do us a favor, share it on your timelines. And, yeah, we'll see you again for the next one here on the Joe Padula Show, where America goes to party with a purpose.
Joe Padula, absolutely.
Absolutely.